Do come forward. That dog is quite safe, though it prefers not to be stroked. This is the yard of the Queen's Head Inn in Southwark, London, at 6 o'clock on a fine morning in 1740. Through the gates, you can hear the bustle of London. The lady by the gates is hurrying her father to depart, and the coach is nearly ready to leave. You would travel on a coach like the one standing here. It's well supported by 2 massive beams attached to the solid spine of the coach, and your compartment hangs and swings easily enough on the 2 leather straps. No need for springs. It's even got a bucket to collect the horse droppings for the gardens at Tunbridge.
Papa, you must hurry. The coach is ready to depart.
These London innkeepers know how to charge. Where's your mother?
Already aboard the coach. Oh, Papa, I want to be away from all this noise of London. I long to be at the glitter of the Wells. There is a ball tonight.
There are balls in Bedford, young missy.
But not with officers and noblemen.
You may go for fashion and flirtation. I go to take the waters for the gout.
Oh, do come along. Oh, your cloak's caught in the gates now. Oh, really, Father, what will we do with you?
I swear those mattresses weren't fresh, you know.
There's an old lady sitting on my hat.
Doing it no harm, my pretty. You gentry travel inside, but an outside fare does me well enough. I sold my wheat ears in quails today. I'm off back to the Wells with the fine fresh oranges you'll be eating tonight. So let's be getting away.
And so we should. Welcome to the Gentleman's Coffee House. The fellow at the table has simply come in to read a newspaper or write a letter, but luckily I was here and could enliven his morning with a tale from my past. This used to be the pipe office, where you could hire a pipe for half a crown a season. Dr. Rousey, a local doctor, said that for a medicinal effect the smoke should be held in the mouth for a few minutes. I, of course, have never had the slightest regard for medical opinion. Nowadays, newspapers and writing materials are free to members at only 5 shillings a season. The poor chap opposite me has taken too freely of drink last night, but the landlady's posset would ease his pain.
Yes, sir. It is my own special recipe.
It will not be difficult
Oh,
to
the young
identify
gentleman
Nell
take
Gwynn,
it.
the orange seller,
If it will just
who
take
was
away
also
this
a mistress of
pain.
King Charles. He'll be ready for his coffee in a trice. At least he's dressed properly. I will not have loose dressing here. I once had to ban one gentleman for wearing boots at the ball. But this young blade is in a decent morning undress. He'll get his coffee from Jack over there. He's a good boy, keeps it hot, and is polite. Well worth his wages at 10 years of age. I applaud a child earning, young, and in such a place as this, he'll see how gentlemen behave. But no ladies. Oh dear me, no. This is a gentleman's coffee house. So here we are safe from the fair sex. The landlady is essential, of course. This is the principal reason people give for coming here. To take the waters at the Chalybeate Spring, housed in this pretty structure built by Lord Muskerry in 1664. In 1687, Dr. Maiden made all sorts of claims for the Tunbridge waters.
They have a saponary and detersive quality, cleaning the whole microcosm for all feculence and impurities. No remedy is more effectual in hypochondriacal and hysteric fits by suppressing the anathemiasis of ill vapours and hindering damps to the heart and the head.
Doctors never could speak plain English. I suppose he meant the waters do you good. They also kill flatworms of the belly and ward off the plague. The water cures the colic, the melancholy and the vapours, makes the lean fat and the fat lean. Damned quacks. One asked me once if I'd followed his prescription. I told him that if I had, I would surely have broken my neck, since I flung it out of a second-story window. This one in front of you is even now persuading an old lady that she has the dropsy. Thank heavens not all come here for the waters. These 2 fine young girls find that the spring is a good spot to see the young bucks take their morning stroll in the lower walk.
Isn't that Captain Osborne? He's looking at you.
They say his London house has gold leaf on all the ceilings.
And his father has 10,000 acres in Yorkshire. Now smile at him, Louisa.
He lost heavily at the tables last night. But there's Lord Elvin's nephew. You must answer his letter.
They will not miss our company. We can safely leave them to their tender warblings of love. But a word about the lady at the well. She is a dipper, one of a group that serve the water. Passed down in family, as you know, from a Mrs. Humphreys, the first dipper who lent Lord North a bowl. Now, after taking their dose of the waters, Most people went to morning prayers in the chapel behind the spring there. Do come forward. And then took a stroll in the That dog is quite safe, though it prefers I will not to be lead you. Do have a seat if you wish. It's quite free. Now, you have taken the waters, breakfasted and prayed. You will return to your lodgings and dressed for the important task of seeing and being seen here on the Pantiles, now decently paved, thanks to good Queen Anne, and kept clean by the crossing sweepers I provided. By the way, the poor fellow would be glad of a tip. But I leave it entirely to you, of course. The doctors advised walking as a healthful exercise, but I have always felt that the social advantage of the parade did more to enliven the spirit. You will recognize the sedan chair from the room below, and the old lady is, in fact, the Duchess of Marlborough.
You rogues! Can you not keep your footing? I was near to being tumbled over on the hill.
Oh, God bless you, Grace. The road's all broken there.
It'll be your bald head that's broken if you don't get me out of this. My hoops are wedged.
Well, more like it's her hips that's wedged.
I have welcomed Her Grace many times at the Wells, as well as other great noble ladies. Waiting to attend her today is Thomas Logan. You know, he had been court dwarf to the Prince of Wales. Logan keeps the shop behind the chair. He is an excellent painter of fans. He will also undertake portraits of visitors. The next shop sells toys and fairings, but you'll see that from its sign. Fairings, if I may explain, are pretty little souvenirs to take back with you as a memory of the Wells. The wooden boxes with the black lacquer work are indeed unique to the Wells. The craftsmanship is very fine, you see. The aging dandy in the pink velvet behind us is to be observed as an example of what I have to contend with.
But you know me very well, sir.
Madam, I have never seen you in my life.
I am Sarah Porter, sir.
The Queen of the Touters.
Call me that if you will, sir. I do but collect the subscriptions for Mr. Nash.
Ha!
And I have observed your grace in the assembly room. You were by the fire and reading a journal.
So? What if I were?
You dress in the fine French fashion, sir. Your great-uncle is a marquis, and yet you try to avoid your just a count. If this were known in society...
You would make this matter public?
The subscription is 1 guinea, sir, and half a crown for the ball, as well as a shilling for your lady. And the crossing sweepers, sir. That's a shilling.
But I already gave the fellow a tip.
Your grace is most generous, but he depends upon the subscriptions, as do many who live here.
Oh.
Does your grace wish to attend the coffee house?
Damn you, troll! Will you empty my pockets to fill Bone Nash's?
Most unfortunate how some of the highest become small-minded over trifles. I employ Sarah Porter, my excellent friend, to remind them of their obligations. Now, let us move on to the booksellers. For 5 shillings you could borrow books here, and it was a useful place for ladies to meet and converse, like the gentleman's coffee house. Some ladies, I am told, even read the books. Please try to ignore this young jackanapes. He chooses the deplorable new fashion of dressing like his groom or gamekeeper. It's a vile fad, and I detest it. Some of the young ladies, unfortunately, seem to find it attractive. And this one appears so to do. At least these children are properly dressed, exactly like small adults. Now, if you'll accompany me to the top of the stairs, we can see my musicians. Before my reforms there was music, but mainly rough jigs and badly played. We have an oboe and a bassoon with an organ for the continuo, all provided quite free of charge from the subscriptions. These fellows sadly have their pipes still at their feet, and the effrontery to keep their wine glasses in public view. Meet me through the door in a lodging-house. Ah, cinnamon cakes, a favourite dainty of mine. These good folk would have sent out for them, for the landladies provided lodgings only. But then, with rooms starting at only a shilling a day, one should not expect overmuch. These people are small country squire folk, presumably hoping to gain some advantage by marrying their lumpy girl to some feeble nobleman.
Riding? I can see you've been riding. You've got half the county splattered all over you. The nobility of England are walking the Pantiles, and where are you? On a great hunter in your new dress. Your father didn't pay out for that dress so you could leap hedges in it. It was to show you to your advantage, riding demurely.
No, Marjorie, don't be hard on the girl. She's not a sheep in Blandford Market, you know.
It is like a market, Mamma. The other girls all flirt and coquette about the place.
I'll be watching you, my girl.
Poor girl. I hope the poor girl enjoys herself. You are looking at the splendid new assembly rooms on the Upper Walk, which was entirely rebuilt last year in 1739. I am there trying to explain one of my ordinances to an exceedingly deaf countess. I have just had to reprehend the Duchess of Marlborough, who, well fortified by wine, was dancing a minuet all by herself. And she had taken the floor ahead of the Duchess of St. Albans. In such nice questions of precedence, you touch upon the innermost secret of my heart. To know who should go down first to dinner, and attended by whom, to judge between the claims of two duchesses, this it is for which I am the supreme arbiter. The gentleman dancing by the window is a new face tonight at the ball, and although I have ascertained his quality, which, despite his brown velvet and gold lace, is not much, by the end of the evening the entire company will have speculated upon his family, and most importantly his fortune. At 11 o'clock I will once again lift my finger, and the music will cease in mid-phrase. Nearer the door we see the great pastime, which, sadly, is damaging my reputation. Gambling is a passion here. Here gentlemen are playing at EO, a comparatively new game. Our government keeps passing laws to control gambling. They do not believe that here, at least, I am quite capable of preventing financial disasters befalling those who cannot afford them. In this one, you hazard whether the ball will stop on even or odd slots, hence EO. I have never cheated in my life, unlike that fellow at the wheel now with his frog-faced accomplice sat behind him. Cheats, the pair of them. Oh, now, sadly, it's time for us to part. Pass slowly down the stairs. Keep a lookout, though. I haven't quite finished.
And so, farewell. As you depart from these scenes of innocent delight, I sincerely hope that they have entertained you, and yet instructed you also. Pray remember always my maxim, that all should learn how to live in society, and strive to procure their own ease and pleasure without diminishing the happiness of others. As for the rest, men of no character, old women and young ones of questioned reputation, authors of lies, and those who respect nobody but themselves, let them be gone from these happy scenes. A pox on them, the damned scoundrels. I bid you adieu.